So we're having this baby tonight. Awesome. It's like 1:30 in the afternoon. And she's like, oh, you're having this baby today. You're like 7 centimeters dilated. We're like, the fuck? So, and they're like, oh, and also we need to ship you to Sacred Heart because we don't have a PICU or a NICU. We don't have a newborn infant care unit. They don't have one. They don't have a peds hospital. They don't really, like, Sacred Heart Hospital is in Pensacola. If you guys don't know, it is one of the best children's hospitals on the East Coast. It's we are so blessed that our son was born there. I will praise that hospital to the day I die. It is a phenomenal hospital. At least the children's hospital. I don't have a lot of experience with the adult part. From what I've experienced, they seem like a pretty good one for everybody generally. It is a Catholic hospital as well. It used to be run by nuns, so it's a little on the religious side. They aren't real outwardly about it, but every room's got a Bible, every room's got a crucifix or Jesus on the wall, so they are a faith-based medical center. So we're like, oh yeah, we gotta ship you over to Sacred Heart, so we're gonna put you in an ambulance, send you over there. So we're like, okay, all right. So they gave her, and before they sent her over there, they gave her the shot to try to, like, stop the pregnancy. Which didn't really work, unfortunately. I think they may have given her not an epidural. They might have given her, like, I think it's an epidural, whatever. They gave her the shot in the back, too, for pain, to numb her from, like, the waist down. So I think they did that at West Florida, too. Like, some of this stuff's a little hazy because, I mean, this was a fucking whirlwind, okay? So we were at Chick-fil-A at noon. We were at Sacred Heart by 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He was born by 12:07 that morning. Like, he was born at 12:07 Saturday morning, November 21st, 2015. That's my son's birthday, 12:07 a.m. It was 7 minutes after midnight that he was born. And so we get to we get to Sacred Heart. And, they're like, oh, well, they said, well, he's 32 weeks. Of course, and here's the weird thing. Back in Vermont, they considered 38 weeks full-term pregnancy. Down here, they consider full-term 40. So back home, he would have been 6 weeks early. Down here, he was 8. I don't really know why there needs to be a difference, but he was 6 or 8 weeks early, depending on how you want to look at it. Point is, he was a week from his lungs being fully developed. This is getting to the trach part, by the way. You can start seeing why he has a trach. He has lung problems. That's kind of quiet. He has lung problems. Maybe I should talk louder. I don't know. So they gave her a shot or something to try to help his lungs, I guess, improve or develop because they were underdeveloped, which didn't work completely. I didn't really have enough time. Like, they tried to do a lot of stuff, but a lot of it kind of just didn't work. He kind of just was like, fuck y'all, I'm coming out. It's Florida. I want to go to the damn beach and see some fucking palm trees. So your asses better catch me when I slide out of this thing. So we're there, and we were there for hours, and she pushed and pushed, and I was there. My mom, my stepfather was there. Childbirth is disgusting. Just so you know, it's fucking nasty. The amount of fucking blood and God knows what that came out of that girl. I don't want to be in a delivery room again for a baby. I also, by the way, as a side note, guys, I have no plans of having any more kids. I hope I never have any more kids. I'm completely happy with the one that I have. He's enough trouble. And I don't mean trouble like medical. I mean, he's 2. He's a fucking little troublemaker. It's adorable. I love it because it means he's normal, but he's a pain in my ass. He's enough of a pain in the ass, and I'm like, all right, I can only handle one of you. I could not handle another one of you. That would just be too much. He didn't talk or scream or not talk. You can't talk when they're running. He didn't make a noise for 15 minutes after he was born. We weren't sure if he was going to make it. He didn't breathe for almost 15 minutes after he was born. The nurse that delivered him was also one of the nurses that was with him almost his entire time in the NICU. I remember I cut the cord, which, by the way, that is a weird sensation of cutting the umbilical cord. That is a fucking weird sensation. I've been trying to figure out a way of describing what it feels like through the scissors to, like, cut it. It's like the closest thing that I can come to, and I've finally come, now that I work at a deli at a grocery store, I actually kind of have something that I can somewhat compare it to. It's kind of like a natural, like we have liverwurst at work. It's got a natural casing, and a natural casing means it's the lining of an intestine, literally. Like when you see natural casing hot dogs or natural casing sausage, that's what it is. So any of you guys that don't know that, it's not what you think it is. It's not like, oh, it's just a natural product that you can eat. No, it's fucking intestines. It's the intestine. It's wrapped in the intestine. That is the skin on the outside. It's kind of like that, but really a lot thicker and a little bit, like, not harder, but like it doesn't have as much give as, if that makes sense, as the ones that I cut at work. Because, you cut the side up and you take the casing off, and sometimes they'll have like a little paper around it too. That's for like the sausages and the salamis and liverwurst and whatnot. That's the closest sensation I could eat. Weird fucking sensation, and I have no desire to do it ever again. The only reason I did it was because the doctor was like, hey, like, Dad, somebody's cut the cord. And I'm like, well, a job needs to be done, I gotta do it. And that's how I am. If a job needs to be done, I'm a guy that's gonna do it. Side note, I loved the doctor that delivered him. She walked in there and she had a TARDIS pen. Now, me and Katie are very, very big Doctor Who fans. So I'm like, I looked at her, I'm like, I like you. You can totally deliver my kid. You are awesome. Just because of that. And then after we got to know her, she's just fucking phenomenal. I mean, her husband is from Japan, and they met playing StarCraft online. Isn't that awesome? Like, that's so nerdy and great and awesome. They played online StarCraft, and they actually met each other. They played against each other, and then they started actually having like, oh, hey, we should play, hey, we should exchange usernames so that way we can, play against each other again. And then they fell in love and got married. It's fucking adorable. It is the most geeky, nerdy, adorable story I've heard in a long time. But that's a side note. So, he's born, he's not breathing. He's not making a noise. He's not responding. We're very concerned because that's not a good sign. 10 or 15 minutes later, I finally hear her cry. My whole body just, like, sinks. I'm like, thank God my son isn't dead. And by the way, we knew we were having a boy before we had him. We found out the gender, we knew. So that's that. And we're thinking, oh, wow, that's crazy. Well, all right, the worst is over. Whatever. So he's 8 weeks early, so he has to spend time in the NICU. Like, that's a requirement. They're like, boom, you're in the NICU. Even if it's just for a few days, we're going to be in there. He ended up being in the NICU for 7 months, 8 months. So almost his first year of life was spent in a hospital. For perspective, he was 7, 8 months old. Around, I think he was, I want to say 7. I always say 7, and then my mom and Kate are like, no, it wasn't 7, it was this. And I'm like, I don't fucking know. I think it's 7. So to me, it was 7. I'm saying it's 7. The Cranky Yankee says it was 7. 7 months old, he came home. Damn it, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it. So he wasn't, and there was a lot of issues. And anybody who has any kind of experience with preemies, even if they're just preemie, like my son has a lot more than just the fact that he was premature. But anybody who knows anything about preemies knows that, anything can happen. Even normal pregnancies, anything can happen as soon as they're born. Like, just because they come out normal doesn't mean they're going to be. And just because they come out not normal doesn't mean that they can't be in later on. So, I mean, I know there was a point he had jaundice, which jaundice is when your liver doesn't function properly, and he was very, very yellow. So we told him, so we'd go in, we went in a couple of times, he had these, like, they look like fucking Geordie LaForge glasses, like the fucking, or like something from, something from like from Back to the Future, like these silver little goggles they put over his face, and they had him under this like fluorescent light. Looked like he was a little tan in bed. I'm like, look at him, he's getting tan. He gotta get that beach body ready for all them hot little toddlers on the beach. So there was that, and when he was about and now this I'm gonna get to where the trach, the serious stuff. So we found out when he was born. Okay, before the trach thing, I'm gonna say now. Remember when I had said about how the doctor, before he was born, I said it looked like he may have a soft marker of Downs? Well, my son has something called Noonan syndrome. Now, it is a chromosomal syndrome. It's very similar to Downs in the way that it comes around. It's random. Well, it can be random or it can be genetic. If an individual has Noonan syndrome, they have a 50% chance of passing that on to their kids. Now, Neither of us know if we have it. I don't believe that I do, and I don't think Katie does, so we think it was kind of a random mutation. I, not being the best father that I am, I was been supposed to take a genetic test to find out if I have it. And because the geneticist who my son has a pulmonologist, he's got a cardiologist, he's got a nutritionist, he's got a primary care doctor, he's got an ENT, which is ears, nose, and throat. He has a geneticist. My son has about 12 different specialists that see him on a regular basis. It's daunting. It is, being a parent of this child is daunting. But at the same time, it's been incredibly rewarding. The older he gets, the more I enjoy with time with him. When he was first born, I was like, I don't know what the fuck to do with a baby. What the fuck do I do with a baby? Like, he just lays there and eats. Like, how do I bond with it? He just lays there, or he plays with a toy. He can't communicate. What the fuck do I do? I don't know how to interact with a child. Now he's getting to the point where he still can't talk yet. He's delayed in, like, he's not quite walking. He can stand up pretty well on his own now with help. Like, if you hold his hands, like, if you he will grab your hands, and all you gotta do is hold on to his hands, and he'll stand right up. Pull himself right up on his own and stand up. So, which is fucking awesome. Like, that's so happy. It's so encouraging to see. And if you guys want, I will post videos of some of the stuff that we do with him, some of the exercises. And if you want, I'll just post videos of him just being a baby and being fucking cute, because who doesn't like cute kids? He's fucking cute. Anybody who knows him knows he's a fucking adorable kid. So he's got Noonan's syndrome. Now, the positive thing about Noonan's is the fact that it doesn't affect him mentally. He's not retarded. He's not like Down syndrome. He's not a fucking potato. Now, I'm a person. Now, this is going to be a note on here. I told you guys, I have a thick skin. It takes a lot to piss me off, as far as comments and stuff go. It takes a lot to offend me. One thing that will immediately piss me off, and anybody who says anything like this in the comments will be permanently and immediately banned. Do not, I repeat, do not say anything derogatory about special needs people. My son is not necessarily special needs. He's not mentally handicapped. He's physically handicapped, but those physical handicaps are temporary. He does have a heart problem, but he's probably going to have to be on some sort of medication for his heart issue, which I'm going to get to in the next video because this one's running about 12 minutes now. This is probably going to be 5 or 6 parts. I may do like a series on this. This may be something I don't upload all at once. I may upload one and then another. And if I get a good response, then I do more. But this is a long story. There's a lot to this because I got almost a solid 2 years of the whole story coming up to this, or up to now. And if you guys like this, I will totally do this, and I will update you guys on things. If you guys want to know about his progress, I will update you guys on progress. I will show videos of his progress. Like, that would be awesome. I might do that anyways, just so my family members back home can see and interact and be up to date on it, which I'm thinking might be a good thing to do, is to have just a separate part of this channel that's specifically just about him and about that. I'm trying to lose my train of thought. I got to end this video in a minute, and I don't want it to run over. But yeah, don't call my son a potato. Don't make fun of other people who have special needs kids, because it's not their fucking fault. My son didn't ask to be born with Noonan's. My son didn't ask to be born the way he was. Anybody who's born with Downs, anybody who's born that way doesn't fucking ask for it. Yes, some special people are fucking assholes. I've met several. There's one kid that I work with who's got autism and a couple of other mental issues. Now, that's not serious as, like, say, Downs, but autism is very common. He's a fucking asshole. I can't stand this kid. And generally, I like people who are deemed special or have mental issues, mental delays, another thing is, you will hear me use the word retard. When I refer to retard, I almost never am referring to somebody who has some kind of actual retardation. I'm a retard very often, and I say that was retarded because it was stupid and silly and dumb. Not that people who are retarded are stupid, silly, and dumb. Well, they are, but generally it's same reasons that anybody who's not mentally handicapped is stupid, retarded, and dumb. Or stupid, silly, and dumb. Anyways, that's it for this one. Got 30 seconds left for it's 15 minutes. I'm ending it. I'm going to continue this in the next one. Give me 1 second, and I'll see you guys in the next one.